What's going on here? No.
Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Veteran Difficulty video walkthrough. This is mission 4 entitled Time and Fate. So on the loadout this time, guys, I'm carrying a Galil and a Barrett 50 cal. I would definitely recommend keeping the 50 cal because there's a lot of sniping to be done in this match. In this match? What am I on about? In this level, sorry. But at the beginning, this is weird, man. And this is one of those parts that I didn't quite understand the first time through, and I think I got a better grasp of it the second time. So, you are now playing as Menedez, the bad guy. And I do think he's a pretty good bad guy who's got quite a nice story arc. He's quite menacing at times, he's used well, he's introduced well. If the game was longer, I think they could have really had, you know, something quite great with him. But this sequence here, you get beat down and they inject you with something, and I assume the thing they injected you with is, you know, steroids. Because you're roid raging right now. It doesn't take, you know, a Chris Benoit relative to tell you that this is roid rage, because this is kind of crazy. And the thing with it is, you're really difficult to kill. So you want to just be running at them and smacking them either with the giant machete or shooting them with whatever gun you have. And for some reason, I don't know why, it changes your gun when you're not out of ammo to this machete all the time. And there's one other section of the game when it does this, and it pissed me off to high heaven, and I don't know why it does it. But later on, you're going to be playing on a level where I think you're in Pakistan, and you play as Farid, and you're undercover, and you've got a Scorpion, and it's one of the fastest firing guns on the game. It's ridiculously fast firing, and it's a bit too much for me. I love the gun, I love the iron sights, but it fires too fast for the campaign. And for some reason, it kept changing my gun. I did not press Y, there's nothing wrong with my Y button, but it kept changing my gun, and I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. And you're going to see that in the guide, and you're going to wonder why I keep changing weapons, and I swear to God, people, it wasn't me. But this sequence here, the path that I've found to get into this building is probably the quickest path I could do. It's the one I did my first time through. If you're good with the spaz at hip firing and you get lucky with the one-shot kills, you'll do that section really quick. As soon as you get to this is all exposition now, boys. I'm going to be skipping it, hopefully, and getting back to the next part of the level. Which, there's an interesting little Pulp Fiction moment where we go back before that sequence happened, and we see what the soldiers were doing, the good guys. So as soon as you start on this hill, you have a 50 cal. There's a couple of guys in these buildings. This thing shoots through pretty much everything, so use that to your ability. It's not quite as good as the future sniper rifle, but it's pretty useful. And I do not have, is it Quick Draw? The now piece of equipment that enables you to have the perk off of Modern Warfare 3, which is essentially Sleight of Hand Pro, which makes you aim down sights faster. I don't have that on, so I can't, you know, do the awesome quick scoping that people like to do, and I would not recommend doing it in the campaign unless you go in there exclusively to practice, mainly because it gets you killed and you'll just waste ammo, and I am not good at it, so I will never profess to be good at it. It's just not something I really do. But this is a one-hit kill, so whenever you're given a weapon that can kill people with one bullet, you want to use it. Be very careful here, there's a couple of civilians running around. I did fail by shooting civvies, because I got a little bit gung-ho. But compared to, you know, previous veteran campaigns, you can really, really get comfortable in this one. And there's a part of me that really likes that. But at the same time, I don't know, it's very strange. Like, I find it funny that Halo nerfed grenades and Call of Duty made them more deadly. And what I mean by this is they didn't increase the spread or anything, but the fact that the AI throws them at you now, and by the time they reach you, they blow up. So, it's not like before where they were so good at throwing grenades, they would land them anywhere you were and they would be at your feet, but you always had 5 seconds to throw them back. This game, you have maybe 3. And then you're dead. And this is another one of the perk boxes. Gives you a Molotov cocktail, which is kind of fun to use. I don't know if there's an achievement linked to it or anything like that, but the only problem is it takes a while to light it, and you'll notice I nearly died just then because I was lighting it. So I'm not going to be using that too much just because it doesn't make much sense. Guy in the building right there in the window with a light machine gun. Be careful of him. But right now, all I want to do is play the multiplayer, but I can't because I have to make the guide, I have to do the commentaries, and this is not me trying to say that I'm noble in any way. It's just one of those things where I'm super hungry to see what the multiplayer is like. I've heard a lot of mixed opinions from commentators that I follow, and I just think like it's going to be a much more rush-happy game. It appears that there's a lot of SMG action. It appears that running around definitely benefits you now, and it also appears that playing the objective is as important as it's ever been, which is a really good thing. My only fear is that it makes you pretty much need to run with the team the entire time. And if you do, and if it is like a prerequisite to run with the team, I'm probably going to have to be recruiting off of Twitter or something, because I generally just run with 2 or 3 guys. Uh-oh, hang on. I believe that was a grenade right there. Just goes to show, did you see the indicator? I don't think I did. Really dangerous in this game. They just the amount of times I've ran out into a courtyard and I've ran onto a grenade like you do in multiplayer, only this time it's computer, which is kind of frustrating because the computer has perfect aim. But the combat training is probably something I should talk about, because I've had a couple of rounds of that when I was waiting for renders to happen, and they've done a lot of improvements to it, a lot of really good improvements to it, but they've kind of changed the base, foundation. And the base foundation now, I'm not too sure if I'm going to like it, because the whole point of combat training for me is to go on where I don't have to rely on matchmaking, I don't have to rely on human beings, I can just go on there and practice with the guns and all that stuff, and they've changed that now, whereas you can't rank up on your own against the bots, you have to be playing online and matchmaking to rank up in combat training, and that's horrific. Absolutely horrific. And the only thing I can think of is that Treyarch needs as many people playing online on the online servers as possible so that they get a nice bonus, or they get paid, or however it works, because I know there is bonuses for a certain amount of traffic on a server. And that's the only logic I can put behind it, because they've just killed it. Like, the first combat training, the only thing that was wrong with it, in my opinion, was that you couldn't play objective modes because the AI wasn't sophisticated enough, and that you couldn't prestige, because the whole point in playing Call of Duty is the leveling. Every time the screen pops up with the levels and stuff, it feels good, it keeps you playing, it keeps it interesting. As soon as you take that progression away, the game becomes a lot more boring. It becomes about, its base functions and the frustration and the bullshit, and it's not as fun. And now they've got rid of pretty much everything I enjoyed, and I'm hoping it's because I don't know how to set up combat training and there's a better way of doing it, but as it stands, I don't want to play with fucking people. I want to be able to do it on my own. The whole point of combat training is when it's 4 o'clock in the morning and there's no one to play with. It baffles me, guys, it really does, because these games have got so much going for them, but they just seem to do insane decisions that I know must benefit the company somehow, or they wouldn't do it. Like, it just makes no sense to me. And it's such a shame, because this game plays so well. The bots now are actually really smart. They move around much more like people. It's not full-on cannon fodder, and I hope I'm wrong. That's all I'm saying here, guys. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. This sequence here, you'll notice as soon as you push up towards the log I'm stood behind, that the dude on the car comes with the light machine gun, but you can kill him really quickly if you use this tree trunk. You'll notice as well, I'm doing a lot of jump shotting and things like that, mainly because if you know there's an enemy there but you can't quite see them, sometimes jumping can help. Sometimes it's suicide, they will kill you before you've had a chance to shoot, so be very careful. Also, when you push forward towards this manor, you need to be careful too, because there's a couple of guys in front of it. There's a guy on the balcony there that I didn't see. And there's also 2 guys up the stairs when you go through the door, so don't just rush into this room now you think you've cleared it out, because you can die. And it's happened to me twice. So there's that guy there, and then there should be 1 guy on the balcony. There's usually 2, but for some reason I think there's only 1 this time. Oh no, there's 2. My bad. I'm just lying to you. But once you've done that, it is clear. and you progress onwards. One thing I noticed as well on this game, the voice actors changed. Like, Ed Harris no longer does Hudson, which is bullshit, even though they managed to get Sam Worthington back to do Mason. And did you notice on the trailers that the guy who does, I think he's called Liam Cummings, but I could be wrong, the guy who does Azura in Azura's Wrath, he voiced the main character in all those E3 demos and all that press stuff. And then he's not even in the fucking game now, which is a real shame, because I really like that guy's voice actor. But thanks for watching, I hope it's helping, and you take care now.